it's John from Jon Fixes Everything, and it's a beautiful day to be out here on the boat. It's really nice water. Okay, fine, we're in my driveway. I got a little boating project today. These really ugly lights, and yeah, I gotta do some cleaning in here, but these are really ugly lights that just get all old and corroded and the covers break and snap. I'm gonna replace them today. I'm gonna replace the covers as well. So as you start to do this, you have to unscrew them. When I was doing this, I noted that this terminal broke off. So I'm gonna replace this, and you know what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna cut the wiring at all. I'm gonna do this really, really simple. I'm gonna replace it with much better looking LEDs. These are cool white LEDs. It's a simple job, you can do it, and I'm gonna show you how right now. Now I have gone through and I have put the connectors on here. I'm gonna cut away to that video, you get to see that, and we'll come back and I'll show you how to install it. And I'm today gonna show you how you can crimp new LED light fixtures for your Bayliner or similar boat overhead lighting. Now I've had some lighting that's older, it draws a ton of power, and it's gone bad. I actually pulled it out to do some work and the piece cracked on it. So I'm going to show you how we can get this one prepared to go in the ceiling. Now the important thing is the width of this is 2.5 inches. Right here is the cutout width, and then the outer width is 3 inches. So that's here on the instructions for the LED light. It's got a nice, looks like a brushed stainless finish, and it has spring clips. So by putting these in and letting go, hopefully it'll hold itself in. The only thing to be really careful with here is the color coding, and this happens a lot on cheap electronics. Black is positive, white is ground. That's more like an AC thing that you would see. So black is going to go into the positive control and white goes into the ground, the negative. So if you haven't already, pick up some of these really cool marine grade heat shrink. These are from Amazon. This is Hystronic. They've got pretty good reviews. And again, if I update my recommendation, you'll find that in the video description. Links to this that also support this channel are in the video description. We're gonna put these on here. And when you twist these, an interesting thing is when you twist wire, it actually gets bigger. A straight wire that's there is not as thick as twisted. So in this case, this wire dimension should crimp nicely in here, and then you can heat shrink it down as well to keep corrosion out. You can also do some other things. I do like to use a good set of crimpers here. So these crimpers have crimps on the inside. You can also get other different styles. So I'm going to put this through, and I'm going to use these to crimp right there. Okay, that's connected. And I'm going to crimp the other side. Now the reason I'm using spade terminals here is because the factory wiring connects to spade terminals on the existing light fixture. So by using these spade terminals, it's going to be a drop-in replacement onto what's there. And I can also do it here, just like that. So the first one's done. The only thing I have to do is apply some heat here so it'll shrink down. I'm going to make one more because I have 2 cockpit lights I want to replace. We're going to open up another one. And then I'm going to take you up onto the boat. And we're ready, and I'll show you how to install them. Same process again. Got our white and black. Black is the positive, it says. And in my boat, they're just press fit in. So the ones that are there, the plastic on one of them broke actually, just over time. So again, twist that like so. And again, if you're worried about corrosion on these, you can put a little bit of dielectric compound in the end here. That's the same stuff they use on car battery terminals and other stuff to keep in electronic connectors to keep corrosion at bay. It's amazing, the cheaper these connectors are, the worse they do in the marine environment. So don't buy the cheapest connector you can on Amazon. That's the worst thing you could do. So there you go. Those are snug and secure. Looks like they're going to be just fine. So now I have these. I'm going to run them up onto the boat. And the one thing that we are going to bring is a multimeter next when we go onto the boat. And the reason we need the multimeter is we need to make sure that positive and negative are identified up there. So we're going to go to DC volts. And I'm going to check, and we're going to check for positive and negative for polarity, because I think it's actually just 2 black wires up there, which is all you need when you have a regular incandescent bulb, because it doesn't matter which direction the power is hooked up. But because we're using LED lights, we need to be set correctly. So next stop, up in the boat. Okay, so I took the cup out. We don't need that. I'm actually going to leave this connector out of the way here until I have a chance to go clip that off. I didn't bring the clippers with me. But what we're going to have to do real quick is identify which is the hot and which is the cold. Now, interestingly enough, if I turn the cockpit lights on, I've already replaced these with LED bulb inserts, but it's not working out. Those are festoon bulbs. They work, but this one snapped and the covers are just kind of yucky. So I'm going to make it a little bit better by, again, going through with these new bulbs. First thing I got to do is I got to see again which one is hot. Now, in my boat's electrical system, I believe that yellow is ground. But the way I can verify that is this one is connected to the yellow, so I'm going to put the black on there. This one is connected to the hot. And my boat's doing good. It's got 13.29 volts. So it's plugged in right now. So that means that it is correct. Now, if you saw these numbers and it was backwards, if this was negative 13 point whatever, so you need a digital multimeter that can show you negative numbers, that means you got them backwards. That means ground is actually your other wire. In this case, yellow in my electrical system I know is ground. As we said earlier when I was packing these things up, the white is ground on these, not black. So white goes to yellow, and we're going to test it out. We'll see if this works. Black goes to blue. Beautiful. Now you don't want to run those together. That will blow a fuse. Actually, most boat stuff is not fused. Most of it is circuit braked. That way, if you're out in the ocean and something rubs or touches something, it'll pop the breaker, but you won't be hunting for a fuse. So that looks really cool. I'm actually kind of excited to see what that's going to look like. So you can see here, really cool looking light. That looks great. So what I'm going to do is turn the power off now so I don't zap anything. And I'm going to take some electrical tape. I brought real duct brand electrical tape, duct brand. Take some quality electrical tape. Now, you can heat shrink down these fittings. I have not done that. But I am going to cover them up with tape, even though the original ones were not. Hopefully this will keep it from coming apart. You can also crimp them down, which helps a little bit. So again, I'm just going to tape them just to reinforce that it's not going to come off on its own. I can put one piece of tape and I can wrap it around both just to reinforce that this thing's not going to fall out. I'm going to fit it temporarily just by pushing that up there. Now the cool thing about this design is it fits through the fiberglass with these clips, and Bob's your uncle. Done. There it is. It's got a little bit there I could fill in with some marine caulk when I'm done, but fits really nice. You could even put a gasket there if you really want, and looks fantastic. So that's one, and that's the older style. Let me see if I can find one that fits here. So that's the dingy look here. Gosh, I gotta clean the ceiling. With a replacement bulb, that's the new style. I'm liking the new style a lot better, a lot cooler light. This has been Jon from Jon Fixes Everything. I hope you enjoyed that little lesson on how to replace the cockpit lights in your boat. If you haven't already subscribed, it's a great time to think about doing that. This channel's brand new. This is one of my first videos. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm gonna have a lot of more videos just like this. Real quick, simple tips from Jon from JonFixesEverything.com.
I ain't surprised at all. Seen them rise and fall. Went up the mountain, it wasn't hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief. I finally got some peace. Carry on, but please don't mess up the moon.